Scoop-tober? Scooby-Doo!
Hey, welcome back to Scoob-tober. Last time in this mini-series, we looked at the most requested scary Scooby villain to give viewers nightmares, and I asked for who should be next. The plan was to do a poll for each video like this, but there were two that were so popular, just like the first, that they were unanimous. So we'll do a poll starting with number 4 later. Most of the scariest, as expected, were from the Scooby-Doo show, but for these next two, we'll be going back to the very beginning for baddies from Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? And who was the most requested villain that gave you guys nightmares next? It was none other than the Puppet Master from episode 9, The Backstage Rage. Airing in November of 1969, this has remained an iconic episode and was even included in the 1999 VHS and 2003 DVD release Scooby-Doo's Greatest Mysteries, a collection of the most popular episodes as voted by fans.
Fans from across the country handpicked the 4 most popular Scooby episodes that make up the all-new video Scooby-Doo's Greatest Mysteries. Here's the Mystery Machine Gang in The Backstage Rage.
What was that?
You get all 4 of these never-before-released episodes on one great video.
I'll pay!
Remember, Scooby-Doo's Greatest Mysteries is now on video. Own it on video today.
Like, wow!
Considering that, it's no surprise that this episode shows up this early here. Let's take a look at what made this legendary episode so frightening. Like any average night, this episode opens with the boys walking home with some pizza, whistling nervously as they're spooked by the night, though the aroma is helping calm their nerves. Look at that spit. They can't take it anymore and decide to just eat the pizza there, and I'm surprised they got as far as they did.
After all, we only had 2 blockbuster pizzas at the Pizza Palace. It's hardly even a snack.
Shaggy tries to show off, but just gives Scooby the chance to get first dibs. A car driven by a shadowy figure rushes through, looking around until he hits a bump and something flies out the window. The boys go check it out, finding a violin case, so Scooby demonstrates his wonderful talent. Opening the unusually heavy case, Shaggy finds it's full of money, so he asks Scooby to guard it while he calls the gang. With Shaggy distracted, the shadowy figure drives by again, and I love that you can see the smudges on the animation cell move with the car here. Scooby starts nervously whistling again as the car pulls up. He looks over and the figure is weirdly gone, but now a poodle walks down with an injured foot, whimpering. He puts down the case to go to her as the figure picks the case up. With Scooby distracted, she rises through the air and the car drives off. Just a shadowy figure in a car out on a dark night when you're all alone is already scary, and this is only a couple of minutes in. Also, how did the figure grab the case and still control the dog? He never had an accomplice or anything. Anyway, Scooby realizes the case is gone and that he screwed up. As the gang arrive, he tries to explain what happened, and Daphne suggests they look for clues. She finds the controller for a puppet mysteriously by the side of the road, and Fred spots a logo for Pietro's puppets on it. Scooby realizes that the girl dog must have been a puppet, and they put together the clues to determine counterfeiting is going on, so they know where to head to check things out. They decide to use Scooby for a trained dog act to enter the theater with, which adds to Scooby's gigantic ego. Dig Daphne's neck being painted green mistakenly here. Reminds me of when she had no neck at all. Inside, they see a man controlling a puppet, immediately suspicious. Introducing themselves, they have Scooby show off, and I must say he is very talented. The puppet Johnny turns him down though for not being a puppet. The puppeteer being the doorman who explains he himself is no professional and only a hobbyist, taught by the great Pietro. Scooby finds a witch and a clown puppet, foreshadowing perhaps for 2 of the upcoming villains he would meet. The witch at least seems to have it out for him, scaring him into jumping Shaggy. While the man puts Johnny away, Scooby notices a bill, which Shaggy determines is brand new just like in the case, so Fred has him hide it before the man turns back. Fred makes an excuse to leave to the surprise of the girls, and the man seems suspicious. Back in the van, the boys show off what they found, but Velma determines it's the real deal, so Fred wonders if it was planted to throw them off. It has the opposite effect though, and they return to see if the doorman is still there. It seems they lucked out and he's asleep, and with the door unlocked, they go in. Johnny still has his eye on them though. Shaggy looks through a fake door prop for a clue, a creepy life-size puppet lifting out of sight as it opens. The mysterious figure watches over as they split up, and he knocks down the door prop among others to scare them. By this point, he's very much serving Phantom of the Opera vibes with the whole haunting a theater thing, which is easily one of the best and most iconic phantoms in cinema to evoke. He cuts the rope for a sandbag, almost hitting the girls, with Velma finding the knife marks, so that's definitely attempted murder. The boys head to the wardrobe department, and the Phantom Puppet Master is on their tail. The boys mess around trying on some costumes and masks they find, with Shaggy trying on a hat and cloak. Scooby laughs until he looks over and sees another shadowy figure in a hat and cloak, doing a double take until the figure disappears. He tries to tell Shaggy about what he saw and they run out. As the girls pass the prompter's box, the Puppet Master keeps a close eye from the inside as they go to meet Fred. Velma gasps as she sees him, just in time for the boys to run in saying they saw the same thing. To trick Scooby into going into the box, Daphne tosses a Scooby snack in, and there he finds a ton of violin cases. The gang come down and check, but they're all empty, and they start to doubt themselves. Suddenly, the stage organ begins to play, and the Phantom of the Opera vibes kick into full gear as they see the puppet master at work, with him simply vanishing as the lights flash. Suddenly, a Viking pops down and yells before popping back up, terrifying them. And on the other end, they're confronted by a laughing pirate who also pops back up, both terrifying to randomly be targeted by. The poodle from before limps by, so Scooby angrily chases after it and brings back the puppet. Upon closer inspection, they find something sticking out of the tears in the puppet, which Velma confirms to be the front engraving plate for a $20 bill. They head back to inform the doorman of what's happening, but he won't wake up and they discover he's a puppet. Shaggy finds they're locked in, and a puppet bird flies down and nabs the plate. Searching around all the violin cases again, Daphne notices the harp case is suspiciously large enough to hold something, and Fred finds it to be a hidden door. Inside, they find a printing press and freshly printed bills everywhere, but before they can get anywhere, the gang run off and he chases after them, laughing all the way, saying that they know his secret. They reach a dead end with a ladder to who knows where, getting darker the higher they get, until they come up to the stage through a trap door. The puppet master closes them back in though, saying they can never leave now that they know. They all push through together and look for him as the Viking pops back down, followed by the pirate. But Velma reminds everyone the doorman was a life-size puppet and these must be too. They realize that means there must be a puppet master, so Scooby looks up and sees a shadowy figure controlling them. As the figure runs, Scooby unties a rope and flies up to chase after him, and leaves the puppet master cornered and dangling from a rope as Fred releases it and he comes flying down. Shaggy finishes him off and they're finally victorious. A cop thanks them for finally stopping the counterfeit bills, and it turns out the doorman was actually the real Pietro after all. They look for Scooby and find him all dressed up and ready to go on stage himself.
Wooby wooby woo!
And there you have Pietro the Puppet Master. It's no wonder this villain has stayed with people through the decades and generations, winning all kinds of fan votes for most memorable episodes or spooks over the years. Puppets already can be a terrifying thing to younger audiences, though I myself loved them and was obsessed as a kid. And if you combine that with the shadowy phantom controlling them, or the stranger danger in a car on a dark night all alone, you have all the ingredients for proper nightmare fuel. His design isn't anything too scary or memorable itself. It's all about his actions, his presentation, the implications of the danger, the uncanny valley inanimate objects coming to life. He may not have been doing anything physically harmful to people with only counterfeiting money, outside of almost killing them with sandbags, but he sure did put on a show. Were you ever scared by the Puppet Master? Let's talk about him. Next week, make sure you tune in for the finale of Scooptober, where we'll cover the third villain in this miniseries as requested by you guys, the viewers. It's definitely an extremely iconic episode in Spook, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. Like the video for algorithmic reasons, follow on socials for updates and whatnot if you want, and that's it for this time. Bye!